they look like we do. That's what we really mean in many cases. Cordell First is striving, and we are striving, and we are moving in the direction of being a church where anyone is welcome here. Amen? No matter what you look like, no matter how you dress, no matter how much money you make or don't make, anyone is welcome here. Amen? That was lousy. Amen? There we go. Thank you. Stick with me. We got coffee, so I'm not sure why you're so sleepy this morning. Anyone means everyone. And by removing the qualifications, Jesus removes the excuses. When Jesus invites anyone to follow him, he doesn't just break down the barriers that keep so many people from learning more about God. He gets rid of the excuses that we might hide behind. So now the tradesmen have no excuse not to follow the rabbi. The dropout student can't complain anymore. The mother of 4 couldn't say she'd never gotten a chance to learn from the rabbi, because we're all welcome at the feet of Jesus. We're all welcome there. We're all welcome to learn. So what's your excuse? I think sometimes I catch people in the church holding off on a live relationship with Christ because they're busy. They're busy. How many of you are busy? Raise your hand. I'm busy too. But that's not a valid excuse. Maybe it's because you want to focus on something else in your life. Your kids need your time and attention. Or you have a second job because times are tough. Or whatever your excuse might be. Jesus gets rid of the excuses by saying anyone. A lot of people in the church also will tell me, I've got baggage that I'm not proud of. And the baggage might be from an addiction or from divorce or bankruptcy or, we're all guilty of something. Amen? We're all guilty of something. And if we allow that to be an excuse to keep us away from Christ, then we've missed out on the greatest gift ever given. What's your excuse that you use? Jesus gets rid of all the excuses when he invites anyone. Anyone is welcome to have a relationship with Jesus. Sexual past? Anyone. Ex-con? Anyone. Inmate? Anyone. Recently divorced? Anyone. Legalist? Alcoholic? Pothead? Addict? Anyone. Self-righteous? Bigot? Stuck up? Anyone. Can you say amen this morning? If I didn't list your particular category this morning, I tried to get them all. We're all in there somewhere, aren't we? We're all in there. And Jesus says, anyone is welcome at the foot of the cross. But that's the difference between being followers and being fans. Now, when we say anyone as a church, we really need to be ready. We really need to be ready. Because if anyone can come to church, well, that might mess things up for some folks. The church gets filled with people who are unchurched. And if we really accept anyone, then we have to deal with our unwritten codes. We might be forced to get out of our comfort zone and rub shoulders with people from different backgrounds, different social circles, people who listen to different music and have different recreational activities, people whose wardrobes really annoy us, people who are hard to tolerate and even harder to love. Somebody say amen. Followers are willing to break down walls and trash unwritten codes and welcome anyone. Fans like other fans. They don't like people that are different. Now, some of you are probably thinking, wait a minute. We can't just let anyone into the church. We can't just let people show up and invite them into God's family and tolerate anything that they want. That's not biblical. You're right. That's not biblical. But to invite anyone is biblical. To love them is biblical. But you can love the person and love them into the kingdom without approving of what they do. Amen? And too often the church has set the approval as the standard instead of the acceptance. And it's time for the church to say, anyone is welcome, regardless of what you've done or where you've been or how you've lived, because the grace of God reaches us all. When Jesus makes the invitation, he says, anyone, so that some of the people will respond. And some of the people that respond aren't going to be people that other people approve of. Some of them are going to have a past. Some of them are going to have lifestyles that others might be embarrassed to hear about. Fans don't know how to handle people like that. Fans get uncomfortable with people who are different. They prefer not to know. Fans prefer things to be nice and shallow and comfortable and uniform. Followers, however, are open to everybody because they know their own sin and they know the grace that's been applied in their lives. Followers know that they've been forgiven much, and so it doesn't matter what somebody else has done. Amen? Amen? Amen. Thank you. Stick with me. But here's the thing. Fans embrace other fans. They embrace people that are like them, that cheer on the crowd. But followers embrace anyone. I do hope you'll come tonight to hear from Shane Clark, because Shane is the perfect example of someone who embraces anyone. And he embodies the gospel message. If you like good preaching, if you want to hear some really amazing things of what God has done, you need to be here tonight at 7 o'clock. Shane's going to share with us about his ministry among HIV and AIDS children in Mexico. And it's an incredible thing that he's doing there and that we can be involved in. Anyone is welcome. But there is a little catch. When Jesus makes the call and he says anyone is welcome, that's true, but he asks for everything. Anyone, but it's also everything. When Jesus makes the invitation, he welcomes anyone who would come after him, but he also makes it clear that in order to do that, you have to give up everything. Anyone is welcome, but everything needs to be committed. When a Talmud was finally accepted into a rabbi school, they would leave their homes, their jobs, whatever was holding them back. They would go and they would follow the rabbi. Literally, they would follow the rabbi wherever he went. So if the rabbi went to the market, the students would follow the rabbi. And if the rabbi decided to go to another town, the students would follow him to another town. And if he decided to go visit somebody that was sick, they would follow him to go and visit the sick person. And if they decided that he wanted to be the person that was reaching out to people that were different and socially unacceptable, then the students followed wherever the rabbi went. To follow the rabbi named Jesus costs an awful lot. Because if the rabbi lives without a home, his students had to follow. And if Jesus, the rabbi, decided to go among sinners and shameful, then his students had to follow. And if Jesus, the rabbi, decided not to flee from persecution, his students had to follow. That is what Jesus offers to anyone this morning. The greatest teacher that has ever lived offers you the chance, and me the chance, to become one of his students. And when he says anyone, he means everyone. No qualifications, no excuses. Even though he makes that invitation for anyone, though, he guarantees us that to follow him, not to be a fan, but to follow him will cost you everything. Are you ready? Are you willing to follow the Rabbi Jesus? Fans aren't ready for anyone and everything. Followers are excited by anyone and everything. I want to ask you this morning, are you a fan or are you a follower? Because if you're a follower, you're willing to give up everything that you have to follow Jesus.